So what if you could get someone to do all of your menial work for you? Wash the dishes, mow the lawn, take out the garbage. I think that'd be great. We'd all love it. We ply our trade constructing virtual worlds with a keyboard that fashions words on a page that hopefully fashions a vivid world in the imagination of the readers. Maybe along the way we can change someone's life in the process, but in the meantime, we have the task of taking these words that we have now and fashioning them into the words we envisioned when we first wrote them. What if you could make Word share the workload with you, make your editing easier so you can focus more on the creative side of what you're doing rather than spending more time doing the basic editing? That's kind of my goal. I'm going to show you today how I have used macros to kind of speed my editing workflow. And even if it's not making me faster, but it is, it makes my job easier, and that makes me a happier writer. I'm Peter Hovde, and today I want to share with you some of the macros that I've written and used over the past year and a half. Now, don't get scared. I'm not doing anything technical. I'm just trying to whet your appetite for some of the things that macros can do to speed up your writing and editing workflow. Macros are about doing things faster and with less tedium. Essentially, anything you can do in Word manually or maybe with the mouse, that's a little harder there, but you can turn it into a click of a button or a keystroke, and all of that work will be done for you the same way every time. It's like having your own custom version of Word. Imagine Ron Hovde Edition, or insert your name, and you get to make Word work your way to conform to your own personal editing and writing style. That's why I love them. Best of all, you pay nothing extra, at least above your regular license or subscription. All the functionality to record and write macros comes right with Word. Basically, spend a little sweat equity up front, and you get to save some time and tedium on the end. That is, unless you're kind of addicted to the process like me. But even then, I get to have fun sharing what I've created, and you get a productivity boost should you so choose to use them. That way, we both win. Now, one that I use often is delete a paragraph. And you might say, hold on a second, I can delete a paragraph. And you can, but we're talking about streamlining the process, making it efficient and quick to perform simple, common, everyday tasks. Tasks that you perform thousands of times. For example, if I'm at some arbitrary position in the paragraph, I might hit Control up arrow to go to the beginning, Control Shift down arrow to select it, and delete to delete it. That's 3 steps to use the keyboard. Now, I'll undo that. Now with my method, it's Control Shift Delete. That's the shortcut I use for it, and it's done. Now you might say, well, I'll use the mouse. And what you'll find is if you're making edits close to your natural cursor position, that the mouse is often going to be slower. I'm not going to say it's every time, but often slower. For example, now here, it's not necessarily the number of steps, it's the time. So I'm sitting here working in approximately the same position as before. My hand shifts to the mouse, I'm selecting it, I'm not going slow, hit delete. That's still much slower than that. And I use it all the time. That's why I love it. It makes multiple steps into one step. And that's kind of the goal, to shave off all those moments of editing time. Now, I also made variants for cut and copy and paste, and actually even duplicate a paragraph. For example, I'll show you the duplicate one. If I have a paragraph here, now I don't use this as much as I do delete or copy a paragraph, but if I want to duplicate that paragraph, I have a shortcut set that will automatically duplicate that paragraph for me. I don't have to select, I don't have to copy it and move it. I just duplicate it, and then I can do what I want with the paragraph. Now, another one I use is simply to add a style to a given paragraph. Now, I'm not rehashing the previous video where I talked about standard Word keyboard shortcuts for changing headings or applying the normal style. I'll put that link up there, or you can search Word's documentation for that. Very useful. I do recommend you use them. Here I'm talking about applying other styles, custom styles in my case. Now, applying a style to a paragraph is simple enough. I often use the quick style pane for the ones that I use the most, but let's suppose I want to add a scene summary style. That's a custom style that I use to summarize scenes for myself as I'm writing, or I just want to make quick notes. Let's suppose I want to make this particular line into what I call a scene summary style. Well, I would simply position my cursor on that line, find the scene summary style, and click it. Done. Now, that's not too hard, but if I can do that with a quick keystroke and be done with it, that's much faster than having to move my hand to the mouse and adjust. Remember, we're talking about efficiency all the time here. And it doesn't mean that these are tasks you can't get done, but they can be done faster with the keyboard. Now, this is one you can easily record on your own. I actually have mine a little bit enhanced in that I like to cycle through common styles that are related. That saves me some keystrokes. And for example, on this one, I have a common style that I use I call scene summary, and another one similar to it called scene comment. And I have it assigned to a keyboard shortcut so that if I want to make a comment out of this, I simply press my keyboard shortcut and it immediately transforms it. Now on mine, I might decide later that I don't want that, but I don't want to delete it. I just want to mark it that I've decided against this for the moment. I can simply press the same shortcut and it will cycle into a separate but related style. Little things that I do to make things faster. By the way, if you don't use styles for your writing, do. I resisted them when I first discovered them a long time ago, when I first saw they were implemented. And after I got serious about writing, maybe around 2011, I saw their utility. They really do save time. You can make changes and they will propagate all the way through your document. Like so I said, if you don't use them, do make a practice of getting to learn to use them. Now, another thing I do is I have notes that I can quickly insert into my document. Now, this may be peculiar to my particular writing style, but as I'm doing my version of writing sprints, I personally don't like pressing forward and leaving all the errors there. I mean, I'll leave some, but I like making notes and comments to myself. For example, on this paragraph here, if I write that and decide, I'm not sure about that, I have a comment that I can put in, press one keystroke, and it puts the note in there for me. Not sure about this. Now, that way, when I get to my editing phase, I can remind myself to think extra hard about this particular paragraph. Now, I can also do similar things if I have a word there I've typed and I'm not sure, I don't want to take the time to research it now, it is my version of writing sprints, I can select it and hit Control W or just, whatever shortcut I've assigned it to, and it immediately puts the note up there. Now, another one of the favorites that I use is making quicker access for bookmarks. That said, typically if you're inserting a bookmark, you may have your cursor here in a document and you can go to Insert, Bookmark, and then type, Start here. Whatever your bookmark name is, enter, and you've inserted that bookmark. Now that, while it's good, I like to have faster access to bookmarks so that I can quickly add and delete them, or at least quickly add and change them. I don't necessarily delete them explicitly. For example, if I wanted to insert a bookmark on this page, now I have customized mine where it adds it at a certain place. That's not really part of this video, but I can simply hit Control Alt and a certain key and it adds the bookmark. In fact, I set mine up so that it adjusts the page for me because I like my page fully on the screen. That is a quicker way to add a bookmark. Now, if I happen to be somewhere else in the document, say down here, and I just deleted a word, now and I want to jump back to, I can simply press Control Home. Now that's my shortcut to do that, and it goes straight to my bookmark. Now I actually have two standard bookmarks. I have one what I call primary and one I call secondary. I just inserted a secondary. I can go to the primary one and go back to the secondary one. Just real quick implementation for bookmarks. Now if I want to jump back to the first one, I simply hit Control and numpad home for me, and it jumps back. So very quick access to bookmarks, and it helps me navigate my document as I'm editing. It dramatically simplifies the process of adding bookmarks. Now you can also use the go-to menu. For example, I bring up the go-to dialog box, and I could go to a bunch of things here, but if I were to select bookmark and then select secondary edit, it'll jump to that secondary edit bookmark that I've created. Now that's great. It's nice to have that there, but it is so much faster if I wanted to go say primary bookmark, just press Control, numpad home. I'm there. I don't have to even open the dialog box. It's very, very fast, very efficient. So the standard keyboard shortcuts that come with Word, they're nice. They're even great at times, but learning how to create macros opens up a whole new world for customizing and tailoring Word to work your way. And that's kind of my goal here. That's not to say macros can't cause any problems. First, you have to record or write them correctly, because when you run them, they will do exactly what you told them to do. The computers are kind of dumb like that. Now, that's nice when you're doing the same thing over and over. You want it dumb, so it'll just do it. But if you've told it to do the wrong thing, when you press that button, it will do the wrong thing. So you have to kind of watch out there. So after you create one, you need to test it, make sure it's doing what you want it to do, just so you're not surprised later on when you try to use it. Of course, recording or writing your own macros is best because obviously you trust yourself. And there are a lot of macros you can create in Word that will help you edit and write faster. Simple macros that don't take a lot of time to make. And that's what I'm going to start with in this series. Macros that are simple that you can use to work faster. Now, another comment on trust. If you don't know the source, don't trust the source of a given macro, don't install it because they can be created maliciously to do serious harm to the data on your computer. Therefore, only run them from external macros, that is, only run them from sources you absolutely trust, and that includes me. If you don't trust me, then wait till you trust me to use the macros that I provide to you. What I don't want you to do is, for fear of getting something wrong or for fear of I don't know what I'm doing, is to not use them at all, because it will shave moments that add up to minutes and hours and possibly even days as you edit each manuscript. And that is worth it. The time saved and the effort saved is worth it. So please try it. Now, I'll have a video later talking about the details of installing, recording, and creating and basically transferring macros between computers. I don't want to get technical in this video. Therefore, I'm just kind of, like I said, trying to give you a taste of what's to come and what you could benefit from using them. Now, final bonus is I've kind of grew my body of macros, and all my keyboard shortcuts that I use is I actually don't have to use the ribbon near as much. And I don't mean that just for efficiency. Here, I can actually expand my page and collapse the ribbon and be fully productive. And because I rarely use the ribbon now, and it makes my workflow easier. You can click that little focus button down at the bottom if you like that, or just maximize your screen, however you like to do it. But it allows me to really focus on the words on the page. I don't like all that busy stuff up there unless I have to have it there. Now, I do have a bunch more, and I'm not going to share all those right now because this video is already getting long. And if you're interested, let me know, and I can do another sampler set like this to kind of show you what you can do. I will start putting up some more, I won't call them technical, but more detailed videos covering some of the macros, starting with the simple ones, but also probably getting a little more technical as we go along. And let me know what you're interested in, and I'll seriously consider trying to create some content to help you individually. In fact, if you have a particular repetitive task that you would like to see turn into a simple keystroke, drop a note in the comments and let me know what it is. And if I have time, I enjoy doing this, so I might could take a look at it and share back with you what I've created, and then we could correspond about it. That would be kind of fun for me, so just let me know if you're interested. Also, if you have any macros you already use or ones that you've heard of elsewhere, let me know about those too. I find this interesting, as technical as it seems at times. I find it quite interesting, and I would love to hear from you about it.